I am Ankit. I'm the founder of Big Bang AI. And there in Big Bang AI, we create several automation agents for different companies. So we basically mainly focus on marketing and content automation. But we have also created a few finance automations, payroll automations, and HR automations, and so on for different clients. And with Pivot, it's my third session. I think previously we have taken two sessions. The first session was about basics of automation, where we saw different kinds of automation using make.com. And we differentiated between what is an automation, what is an agent, and so on. Then in our second session, we created a Telegram personal assistant using n8n. So it was an automation where you can just speak on your phone with your Telegram, and it can do any task for you. Like it can create a meeting, it can cancel a meeting, it can check your calendar, it can send an email to someone, it can create a LinkedIn post for you, and so on. Right. So that is also very interesting. So both these videos are available on Pivot's YouTube channel if you want to just see them. But today's video is not related to that. Like even if you have not watched those videos, you can still gain a lot from today's session. So today we will be creating a voice agent as for customer support of a company. So voice agent is like it is an agent that sits on your account, and whenever somebody calls a number, that agent picks up the call and that agent talks to the caller. So it can be about customer support, it can be for lead qualification, it can be for sales, it can be for appointment setting, and so on. Right. So today we'll be creating a voice agent for customer support. We'll be using two tools, n8n for the automation and VAPI for the voice for creating the voice agent. I'll just give a brief summary before we begin. So this is the n8n automation that we will create today. How it works, I will just tell you. And this is VAPI tool. So we will create an agent. We can name the agent Lucy or anything else, whatever you want, and we'll prompt it and we'll connect it to some tools. We will give it certain instructions and so on. So how to work, I will explain that. And the objective is that suppose we have a company, we have a e-commerce company called Awesome Threads, where we sell different kinds of clothes. So we get a lot of inbound calls regarding doubts about their shipment orders, and like what are the different kinds of clothes available, what are their prices, uh, order tracking, return policies, etc. So this is a hypothetical company for this project that I have created. And usually what happens is whenever a company gets such calls, they have to hire customer support people, and their work is just to give the information which is already there. Somebody asks about where to track their order, they will tell them that this website. Then return and exchange policy, they will ask them about different SKUs, they will ask them about prices, and so on. So there are hundreds of questions, but everything can be written in a documentation. And if we hire people for this, first of all, it will lead to a lot of expense, because we have to hire a lot of people the more the number of calls we get. Secondly, there's a chance for human error, so that is also there. So what we will do is, like, we will train an agent on this documentation and certain other prompts, and whenever we get an inbound call, that agent will handle that call, so that we don't waste humans, our employees' time, and they can be utilized in something more productive and something more creative, where human intellect is required. And these repetitive tasks can be handled by agents, right? And how it will work is, so for example, somebody wants to contact us, there's a contact form. So there's a sample contact form, like contact us. So if a user fills in their first name, last name, email, and phone number, so our agent, as soon as they like submit it, so our agent will call them immediately. And once it calls them, so it will like enter all the details. So for example, whatever details they enter, like email address, first name, last name, phone number, in our CRM, it can be any CRM. I'm using just Google Sheet here just for example. It can also keep all the transcript, right? So this is a very simple version that I've created, but in reality we can also add a lot of other options, like whether the call was successful, whether the lead is qualified, if we are booking any calls, like what time the call is, what time the call is scheduled, and so on. Then I think that's it. This is what we will be doing. And let me just give you a demo, right? So I will just suppose I am a user, I want to talk to somebody in the customer care for, Awesome Threads company. So I will just enter my details, my first name, last name, my email, and my phone number. So as soon as I enter it, I will show you like how I receive a call, right? So once I enter it, I will get the details here and then I will get the calls. So I've already got the details here now, the details that I entered. And now I'm getting this call. You can see I'm getting this call. So I'll just pick this up. And if you can hear this, you can hear it. I'll just try.
Awesome Threads. How can I help you?
Hey, can you tell me the prices of slim fit jeans and relaxed jeans?
Okay, Ankit. Slim fit jeans are $59.99, and relaxed fit jeans are $64.99. Remember that prices are always up to date on our website. You can find them all at basicthreads.com/shop. Does that help?
All right, can you tell me about standard shipment options available?
Standard shipping option typically delivers within 5 to 7 business days. Shipping costs are calculated at checkout based on your location. For more details, you can visit basicthreads.com/shipping. Is there anything else you'd like to know?
Can you tell me different shipping options available?
We offer the following shipping options. 1, standard shipping, delivery within 5 to 7 business days. 2, express shipping, faster delivery, typically within 2 to 3 business days. 3, overnight shipping, next-day delivery for urgent orders. You can find more details about these options, including costs, at basicthreads.com/shipping. Let me know if you need help with anything else.
All right,
Thanks
thank you.
for calling
That's it.
Awesome Threads. Have a great day.
So as you can see, I asked if could you hear what the agent was saying?
Yes, Ankit, you could, yeah.
Okay, so we also got the transcript. So it said that, hi Ankit, it's Lucy from Awesome Threads. How can I help you? I asked them the price of the jeans and it mentioned it correctly. Here, like it is slim fit jeans is 59.99, relaxed jeans is 64.99, right? And that's how it said it, told it. And then I asked about standard shipping. There it made a mistake actually this time. And it said the standard shipping is 5 to 7 days, but it's 3 to 5 business days. Maybe there's some problem in the prompt that I've given it. So I've given it like very short prompt here, but we can just add it. Like we can, ask it that whenever somebody asks about shipping, just refer to the documentation. Like I have added the documentation here. The PDF that I was referring to, I've added it here. So it can refer to this PDF. But maybe it checked for the jeans prices, but it didn't check for the standard shipping. But yeah, this can be, easily ironed out when if you write the prompt in more detail. So our aim is to understand how it is built, right? So what we'll do is now first we will build an agent. So we will build an agent in VAPI. Like we will we'll understand like what model is there, like in model, what prompt do we give, what kind of voice will we use, what kind of transcriber will we use, and so on. And secondly, once agent is created, then we will connect it to our n8n. In n8n, so this is the first module we are using is a webhook. So what is a webhook? Webhook is something that connects an external data to our n8n workflow. So whenever we submit this tally form, right? So whenever we submit this teleform, so this teleform is connected to our this webhook. So that data, as soon as it is submitted, it will come here and this workflow will get triggered. Once it's triggered, it will update the CRM. As you saw when I submitted the data, these 4 columns were filled first. When these 4 columns will be filled, then a call will be created. So this is an HTTP request. This is connected to our VAPI agent. So HTTP request is like from our workflow agent, we want to connect to some external tool. So we can enter its details and it will connect to VAPI. And once the call is finished, then it will create the end of call report, and it will connect to this webhook from VAPI to here, and then it will pick up the transcript and it will update this thing. So as we saw that once the call was finished, this transcript was updated here, right? By the way, if you see the previous one, there the agent didn't make the mistake. It said that slim fit jeans is fine, and even for the standard shipping, it's at 3 to 5 business days. But I think the second one, it made some mistake. So we have to train the prompt again and again, right? And then for that, first we will need to create a kind of, what do we say, this voice agent. So I created this Lucy for testing that I showed. I will create like a fresh one. We will actually call it Lucy. I'll just like, so once you come on dash VAPI, you will see something like this dashboard. You will see actually something like this if you haven't used VAPI. Yeah, so you will see something like this, right? And if you haven't made any calls, you won't see any data here. You have to come to assistants to create an assistant. So here you click on create assistant, and create assistant, here you give it a name. So we will call it Lucy, or you can give it anything, any name, right? Then we can either pick from the templates that are already available, but we will create our own template, blank template, and we will create an assistant, right? So here first you will see is the model. So in the model, we will select OpenAI. You can select anything else, any other, say Anthropic or Google you want to see. I will use OpenAI. And for the model, you can see GPT-4o is fine. Like it has a latency of 600 millisecond and costs like 2 cents per minute. And yes, if you want to choose any other model, you can choose, but I'm good with this. So the first message is what the agent will say when it picks up the call. So for me, it said that, "Hi Ankit, it's Lucy from Awesome Threads. How can I help you?" Right? "Hi Ankit, this is Lucy. Hi John, this is Lucy from Awesome Threads. How can I help you?" So this is the first message. So we have to enter it here, whatever we want the agent to say first. So I'll just copy it from here. So this is the first message. So here first name is a variable. So whatever name we have entered here in the form, it will pick that up. I will show you how it picks that up. So we will just declare a variable using this. I think we've got 2 questions meanwhile. How can we enhance pronunciation in Hindi or regional language? How can we get Indian number easily for integration? How will we? Okay. Shantanu mentioned that we will open the Q&A in a bit later. Okay, I'll answer that later. Then this is the system prompt. All the other prompts that we have to mention. So let's copy it again from here. Sorry, I'll have to first save it. Yeah, then I will come here and I will just copy it and then I will explain it. So this is what I've pasted here. So this is the role that you're Lucy, a helpful customer service agent. You guide customers to find info. These are your core responsibilities. You can read through it. By the way, I'll just share all this thing if you want to create on your own. After this call, I will share all these resources with Shantanu, and he can share with in the group wherever you want to see it. And even in the YouTube video, we'll mention all the details about all these prompts and so on. So core responsibilities are this. This is the context that you work for Awesome Threads online clothing store. You provide information and help with FAQs and so on. You can read it. These are the specifics that direct customers to website for order management, provide exact web address for self-service. Then again, a lot of information, conversation approach like greet warmly. We mentioned that refer to the file attached to get whenever required, info whenever required, and so on. These are the best practices that never process returns, just direct them to the website because you're just an admin, you don't have any authority. And don't promise stock availability, stay positive and helpful, be clear about customers' need to do themselves. right? And ending call, certain instructions how to end the call, and certain notes that, say price in natural language, like $39.99. Don't say 39.99 USD. Just say $39.99. And yeah, so these are the instructions you can read. And then file, as I mentioned, we have a PDF where we have given all the instructions. So you can just upload it. Awesome threads. I've already uploaded, so you can just upload it. Then max tokens. Max tokens is like the maximum number of output words that it will give. So we don't want it to speak paragraphs, so we can keep it like 100. So tokens is actually are a little, they are related to the number of words. So like 4 tokens means 3 words. So like 100 tokens means somewhere about 75 words is the max capacity. Then temperature is like how much creative or strict do you want it to be to your instruction. So for example, if you're creating a voice agent to say poetry, so you want it to be very creative. But here we just want it to follow the instructions, whatever instructions we have given it. So we'll keep it a little strict. We can keep it like 0.4, 0.3, and so on. So we'll keep it 0.4. Then, so this is the model. Now you can either go here or you can just directly change from here, like voice configuration. So for voice configuration means like what kind of voice do you want? So we have different providers. We have VAPI, we have 11 Labs, and so on. You can just choose anyone. So I have choose VAPI, and then for each provider we have different kinds of voices. So for example, Elliot is 25 years old male, Canadian, soothing, right? We have Cole, which is 22-year-old white male. Harry, we have Spencer, which is 26-year-old female. Energetic Neha is like Indian, 30-year-old female, and so on. So you can choose anyone based on. So I like the voice of Spencer. So the one we saw earlier, it was Spencer. So I'll choose Spencer. Then I think additional configuration, we don't want to add anything here. For transcriber, again, we'll just leave it to default. So transcriber is something that, translates what you're speaking to text, right? It's like speech to text. So we'll use DeepGram, which is like default. We can use it. Language is English, fine. If you want any other language, you can choose, any other language here. Then model is again for the transcriber. You can just leave it as it is. So tools. Now, what is tools? If we want our agent to have access to any external tools, so for example, our calendar. So if we ask our agent to check our calendar and book a meeting, it needs access to our calendar. And if we want our agent to send an email, we want it to have access to the email. But here we are just getting simple customer support where it just needs access to this file, awesome threads file, PDF. So we don't want any external tools here, but you can add any external tools. Same for functions. You can predefine any functions. It's a little advanced. We won't go here in this session. Then we will leave all this. And start speaking plan is like when you call it, when it picks up the call, how long do you want it to wait before it speaks? So for example, if I just I wanted to, wait for my hello before speaking. So I will give it a delay of like 1 second. So suppose if I'm calling, if it's calling me, I need to say hello first. It shouldn't happen that I just pick up the call and it is speaking, right? So I'll just give it a delay of 1 second. Rest of the things I'll just keep as it is. Stop speaking plan is you can just read it, self-explanatory, like number of words that a customer has to say before the student will stop talking. So you can just just read it. We'll just keep it default. Similarly, call timeout settings we don't want to use here. Keep out paired input settings, and finally messaging. In messaging, so we want end of call report and transcript later. I'll explain what it is. So I'll just select here transcript. And for server messages, I'll just choose end of call report. That's it. And later on, we'll also add a server URL here. I'll just explain what it is. But as of now, let's keep it. I'll just save it, publish it, right? Now it is saved. So let me see if I can, if the sound will be available here. So I'll just go share and okay, share sound. All right. Okay. Try the assistant right from here instead of the call.
Hi, this is Lucy from Awesome Threads. How can I help you?
Hi, can you tell me the prices of slim fit jeans and relaxed jeans?
Certainly. According to our records, the slim fit jeans are $59.99 and the relaxed fit jeans are $64.99. Remember that prices are subject to change, so it's always best to check the website for the most up-to-date pricing. You can find all our jeans at basicthreads.com/shop. Is there anything else I can help you with today?
No, that's it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Yeah, so were you able to hear it? How it worked?
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, so this is how it works. But now this voice agent just on a platform, but we want to connect it to our agent and on our actual phone call, right? And by the way, you can just check whatever information we asked, like the prices of the jeans, which it mentioned correctly. And yes, so I think our voice agent is complete. You can see the latency here. The total latency will be like 1.05 seconds, and the cost will be $0.1 per minute. You can just check all the costs here. But before we connect it to actual, agent, we also need to add a phone number here. So for the phone numbers, so I have added a Twilio number. It's a US number. So you can, to create a new number, you can come here. You can either choose a VAPI number, but VAPI numbers are only available for the US. Phone numbers from other regions, please use the import phone numbers feature. Yeah, so if you want to, you can just use the VAPI number, or you can use like Twilio to import a number. You need to give your Twilio account SID, Twilio auth token, and so on, and you can mention it here, right? Then that's how you can add it. So I use Twilio, so I've added my Twilio number. Like you can easily go to YouTube and just watch a simple tutorial about how to create a Twilio number, and you can just come here, create phone number, import. You can add the details, and your number will be imported here. So I used Twilio US number. So I usually, for my clients, they need to call US clients. So I have used US number. I haven't tried Indian number. Maybe, but I'm sure there will be certain platforms where you can also buy Indian numbers. And but even using this number, you can call my Indian number. So using this number, I called my Indian number here, right? So even calling US number, the charge is same whether you call any country. The charge is still the same as per my knowledge. Whether you call in India, whether you call it to US, once you have this number. So I think Twilio charge is 3 cents per minute, right? And for VAPI, by the way, you get like uh, around 100 minutes free. It used to be 1,000 minutes per month, like till a couple of days back. Now they've reduced it to 100 minutes. So you get 10 credits. Like I think one credit is equal to 10 minutes. So you get around 100 minutes free now with the VAPI per month, right? So this is our assistant and phone number. Now we want to connect our model to our n8n. So for n8n, we need to first create this. How do we create this? So I won't create here from scratch. I'll just explain how it is done. So first of all, you need to create a form on Tally. So how do you create it? I'll just explain. So this is Tally platform, right? You can just create a new form here. And once you've created it, you can see it here. You will contact us and you can, just share it with anyone. So this link is like this contact, this form. Like if you share it with anyone, they will be able to see this. And this is the admin interface. But first, we want to connect this form to our n8n. Because the first step of this entire process is getting the data. Whenever somebody is filling the form, their data should come here, which will trigger the workflow, and then the next steps will take place. So the first step is connecting Tally to our n8n. So with this, we use a webhook. Webhook may sound difficult, but it's very simple. Webhook just means we want to get data from some external source to this platform, to n8n, right? So it will open something like this, right? So we want data from here. So this is the webhook address. This is the webhook address. This is the test URL. This is the production URL. We need production URL. You just click on it, it will copy. Just click on it, copy. So we want the data from Tally to this address. So we will go to Tally, we'll go to integrations, we'll go to webhook, and we will just, enter the here. I have already connected, so I won't do it again. So this is how you do it. Integrations, right? It's connected to this one, this address, like F3D2. You can see here, F3D2. So this is already connected. And from here, you have to select post, because the data that is coming from the form, it has to post, like it is giving the data to this platform, right? So this form is not getting any data from n8n. This form is posting a data to n8n platform. It's providing the data. So here it's post method. This is the address that Tally will use, that will add to Tally. We will select post because Tally is posting the data here on n8n. Again, this is the same path, this. Then authentication none, we don't want to use any authentication. If you want, you can do it, and we will respond immediately, right? Like as soon as data comes, it should trigger. So immediately. So once data comes, it triggers. Then next what? We need to add all the data, this first name, last name, email, phone number, to our Excel sheet. This one, our CRM. We want to fill these 4 columns, right? So for that, we will use this. Now, when you are working with n8n, since we haven't run it yet, so I can't see this. I can't see the previous node data. So I will go to previous executions that I just made. I will just select it. I will copy to editor so that I can see all the data. So this is the previous execution that I did, the example that I showed you when it actually called me. So now if I click here, I can see all the data from the previous thing because it has already run, right? So in n8n, whenever you're filling the next module, the previous module should be run, only then it will get the data. So here you get the data from the previous module, new lead from Teleform. So from this module, all the data that it provided, you can see here now. So here you can see the first name, all the fields. The first name is Ankit, last name is Jaswal, email is this, and phone number is this, right? So what you want here in Excel sheet, fill the first 4 columns with email, first name, last name, and phone number. So how you do it is, so for example, you want email. Suppose nothing is there. How do you get it? You go to field name, which is email, and get the value, grab it, and just pull it here, right? Similarly, for first name, you grab it and pull it here. For last name, grab it and pull it here. And for phone number, grab it and pull it here. So, and it will also show the exact value from the example. Like this was the email ID I filled. This is the first name, last name, and phone number. So yeah, this is how you set up your Excel sheet. Then next, once these 4 columns are filled, then you want to actually make the call, right? Then for making the call, we will use HTTP. By the way, for Google Sheets, you can just click here and go for sheet and Google Sheets, and you can select append row in a sheet, because every time a new lead comes, you want to create a new row, right? Once it is done, now we want to create HTTP. So go to HTTP. So HTTP request is something whose module is not available. So for example, for Excel, the module is available, But for VAPI, the module is not available. So this is a module. This is one module. So for Excel, the module is available. We directly use Excel. But for VAPI, the module is not available. So we create an HTTP request. So it's like, just like you enter in your browser, you enter vapi.ai, it is an HTTP request. Similarly, from here, we want to create an HTTP request. And so this will open like this. So it is a post request. Because we want to provide all the data to VAPI. This is not a GET request. This is a POST request. And this is the URL of for creating VAPI. I mean for HTTP request for VAPI. Authentication, we want to keep like you can just choose generic credential type. You can just follow this header auth or header auth account. Just follow this, like this is just a form of authentication, right? You can either send through query parameters, or you can directly send it to body. If you don't know, if you don't understand what it is, you just read basic about API, what API is, how to send API requests, how to send HTTP requests, and so on. So you will understand it. And this is the body that we send along with it. So assistant ID is the ID of our assistant. So for this, this was connected to the test agent. So here you can find the ID here at the top, this number, DBB, and so on. So you can see it here. I've entered DBB. So for customer, you can just copy this exact. So what I'll do is I'll share this blueprint with you and you can just import it on n8n. And so this customer number, then phone number. So Twilio account SID is something that you need to add if you're in Twilio, and Twilio phone number, and I guess Twilio or token you need. Then there's certain assistant overrides. So for example, for first name, we used that first name variable here, right? So it will pass on the first name, which is we are getting from the tool from the form, and there's the email. You need to add it, right? So you can just copy paste as it is. Then once it is done, the call is made. You saw what happened in the call. This is the entire, for example, this is the entire transcript. Once this call is ended, then it will trigger the end of call report. So this is a separate workflow. So this is again a webhook. So we want VAPI to call this webhook whenever the call is ended. So it again has a production URL. Copy it and go to VAPI. Go towards the end here. Go to messaging. And in the server URL, you paste this. So now VAPI knows that whenever the call ends, it needs to call this webhook. So once it calls this webhook, this gets triggered. And along with this webhook, it's sending the transcript and end of call report, right? So once this is triggered, it gets the transcript and end of call report. I'll again go to executions. I'll go to the previous ones already executed. So I get the data. This one is executed. So I'll copy to editor. Yes, now I can see this. Now we need to get the transcript to our email, to our Excel sheet. So we will choose append or update sheet. Go to Google Sheets and select append or update row in a sheet, because now we don't want to append a new row, we want to update the same row. We just need to take this row and update it with the transcript. We need to add the transcript here. So we'll just open it and we'll select an account here and sheet with document. We'll select the Google Sheet name. So this is n8n tutorial and the sheet name. So the sheet name is leads. Again, let's choose leads. And then we want to match it up with email address. We want to match which email address we want to, match with the transcript. And this is the email address. We'll get it from here. You can just find it from here. It's a long thing to. You'll find it like somewhere here. Just grab it wherever it is and just put it here. Let me see again. Should be towards the end. Yes, from here you can just grab it, and so assistant overrides variable values first name and email. Just grab email and put it over here. And in transcript, you want the transcript. So the transcript should be somewhere towards the end. Uh, is again. If somebody knows how to, a better way to find variables, maybe you can just find here transcript. Yes, here's the transcript. Just grab it and put it here. So you can, if you can't find something, just search in the search box, right? And that's it. That's it we want. So once the call is ended, it triggers this end of call report webhook, and it all gets all the data from VAPI regarding the transcript and end of call report, and it updates the transcript into the Google Sheet. So that is how we create it. And I guess this is it. So I'll just summarize once again if it was too complex for if you're looking at it for the first time. So we have a teleform that we create. Once the teleform is filled, immediately on connect on pressing this button, our n8n workflow gets triggered through this webhook, and it gets all the data from teleform, and it updates the details like first name, email, phone number, last name here in the Google Sheet. And once it's updated, it creates an HTTP request to VAPI agent, the one that we created, because we have added all the details here, and it triggers that VAPI agent, and it makes us a call. We talk to it, we get all the data. Then we, once the call is ended, it triggers the end of call report, and all the data regarding transcript gets transmitted from VAPI to here, this webhook. And then finally, the transcript is like updated here. So this is how it works. So I'll show you one more example of a little more complex one that I have created. So I'll just save it. I'll go previously. So this is again a sample one that I've created for lead qualification and appointment setting. So this is a little complex here. This is not like a simple. So what we are doing is the first point is simple. So I've created it for a virtual like a hypothetical company called Solar Bloom that wants to sell their solar panels, right? So they have a similar form like this. I'll go back. Instead, I will go back here to home, go to Solar Bloom. This is the one. Sorry. So this is again similar form. Once this form is filled, it is connected to this workflow. It gets all the data from Tally, and then it updates on the CRM. So I'm using Airtable instead of Excel sheet here. So for example, John Doe, this number, this is the email address, and first only these four are done. Then the call is made. The call is made. Once the call is made, in between the call, it will, since it is an appointment setting tool, it will qualify. First, I'll show you how the call goes, in fact. So this is the transcript you can see here. So this is how the call goes. Like, hi, am I speaking with John? The user says yes. Hi, this is Sarah from Solar Bloom. Thanks for your interest in our services. Can I ask you a few quick questions? So first, it will qualify. Somebody has filled a form. It will first qualify whether this user is actually useful that they can sell their product to. So the user says, yeah, sure. Thanks. Can you give me a rough estimate of your monthly utility bill? It's around $300. So like if I would have said like say it's just $10 or like so I don't get much utility bill, I wouldn't be get qualified. But since I'm giving a significant bill, so actually I'm qualified for that solar company solar panels. So they can help me reduce my prices. So it says that we can definitely help and beat any market price. Would you want to schedule a call with one of our advisors? I say, yeah, sure. So now it will check now it will check like, great, the earliest available slots are today at 5 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Do any of these work for you? Right. So it will check my calendar and it will actually, fetch all the earliest available two slots and it will ask me. And if I say like, I guess, yeah, 5 p.m. works for me. So it will say just a sec. Then it will go to my cal.com account again. It will book the meeting. It will book the calendar for that meeting. And then just a sec, your appointment is confirmed for today at 5 p.m. Thank you for choosing Solar Bloom. Goodbye. Have a nice day. So this is how the transcript goes. This is how the call goes. So we have seen we filled the form. It updates the Airtable. The call happens where it checks the calendar and it updates my calendar. So how does it check the calendar? This is the workflow for that. So we add a calendar tool in our VAPI. Remember here I mentioned that, we can have tools here, tools. So we can add tools here. So I have like tools added here, which is like book slot and get availability slot for Solar Bloom. So book slot for Solar Bloom and get. So I've created this, like this is for some other session. So this is how we can create these tools and we can connect it to our agent. So using this workflow, it checks our calendar and gets the available slots. Once the person says on the call that yes, 5 p.m. works for me or like 3:30 p.m. works for me, it goes to my calendar again and it books the slot for me, right? And once it is done, the call ends. And once the call ends, then again, it calls the end of call report webhook. And then it will check whether the call was successful or not. Successful means did the person actually pick the call or nobody picked the call or disconnected the call. If it's true, successful, then it will check whether the person qualified or didn't qualify. If the person qualified means the person was eligible for the services, it will choose this route. Or if the person wasn't eligible for the, this, it will choose this route. So if the person was qualified, it will like tick mark this, like, okay, this was qualified. If the call was unsuccessful, it will just say unsuccessful, right? And is qualified, it will just get the summary and update the summary and will send a personalized email that, thank you for connecting us. Just a reminder that today we are meeting at 5 p.m. with our sales agent. And in our CRM, it will add a transcript and the call summary. Like call summary is this, that, Sarah discussed, monthly bill is $300 after Jordan expressed interest, schedule an appointment today at 5 p.m. Right? So this is how it works. And if the lead wasn't qualified, it will just send a message that, hey, thanks for connecting us. And, in future, if you need something, get in touch with us. Secondly, if the call wasn't successful, if the person picking the call, if the person didn't pick the call or the call, he disconnected the call, it will update the CRM first that, the call was unsuccessful. Then it will send them a mail. Sorry, just a second. Then it will send them a mail that, we tried calling you, are you still interested in the services? And then it is connected to some other assistant, which is a separate workflow. So you can see here, there's a thread ID. So that, it continues the conversation with the client. That if he says, yes, I'm interested, then it texts him, okay, this is our, first it qualifies, asking what is your electricity bill. And then if it is qualified, then it will send him a Calendly link that, if you can talk to our AJ, to our sales representative using this link. So everything that happened in the call, it happened in the message. So if the call was unsuccessful, the person didn't pick up the call, so it qualifies the lead and sets the appointment via message or email. So that is how it works. So it's a little complex than the one that we discussed today. So first, I would suggest you can try making this. I will share all the details. So whenever the YouTube video is available, I think the team will add all the resources there. And even if before that, if there's a group, maybe the favorite team can share it. So that's it from my end. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer. There are a few.
Yeah, there are a few, Ankit, and the floor is open, guys. If you want, you can actually just unmute yourself and ask the question.
So, yeah, Abhinav, you can go first.
Hi, Ankit. This is Abhinav here. So
Right.
the last example you took for the appointment setter,
Yes.
the script, let's say you're qualifying that if the customer uh, has a bill of around $300,
Yes.
if that is not the answer, what happens? I mean, if let's say
Yeah.
let's say the other person on the call says that it's, let's say, $100, which is, let's say, a non-qualifier. So what happens then?
So you have to, so remember we entered the prompt in our VAPI agent, all the prompts.
Mhm.
You have to give a detailed prompt that a lead is qualified when the bill is at least this. And it's not just usually about bill. There are like 2, 3 conditions that the bill
Yeah,
is
yeah.
this, is in this industry,
No.
person
Okay.
is in this area, right?
So
So
yeah. So I mean to say that, I mean, if the expected, I mean, if it, let's say it's not qualified, then the call will go into another direction, which means like, thank you so much for your time, and be in touch when you need your service, something like that, right?
yes, yes.
That needs to be created, which is not created in this flow, right?
No, this is created. So that is given in the here itself in the, I will show you. So that is given in the prompt itself. So that prompt is Sarah, I guess. So here you can just mention this is like a very long prompt
Okay,
that
okay, okay.
something is not there. Like if it's not qualified, just go. So if yes, proceed to step 5. Otherwise, proceed to call closing. So we have mentioned like if they provide an answer, proceed to step 4. If they don't, proceed to call closing. So
Okay.
you give them different steps. So everything
Okay,
is
okay.
managed in the prompt.
Got it. Thank you.
Yes, Aditya.
Yeah, hi, Ankit. Wanted to congratulate you. I think it's probably one of the nicest demos I've ever seen, and really happy to see something like this coming out of India. Almost looks like a version of Twilio that you've done for e-commerce. Beautifully done. We deal with agents which are more visual because we deal with 3D models, and then we link it with 11 Labs, and we link it with models like Gemini, as well as Whisper from OpenAI. My question really is that are there situations where brands will ask for more agency? So what you've done is basically you've created workflows like Diagflow, which are deterministic. But in the situation where something is not deterministic, uh, can uh, can the system do something on the fly with more agency, assuming it has the right webhooks? That was my question. Thanks.
Yes. So the more detailed prompt you give, and the more authority you give, and the more temperature you set. So 3 things happen. So for example, in most of the times, we don't want the agent to create to make decisions on our behalf. If we don't want our agent to give a discount usually, or we don't want to our agent to promise something that is not fulfillable, right? So usually what companies want is they want to have an agent to qualify the agent, ask basic questions, and then for more detailed questions it asks the agent to direct it to an actual sales representative, because most of the companies don't want agents to take all the decisions as of now, because agents hallucinate a lot and they might take a decision sometime that might cost the company dearly, right? But if you want, you can just tell ChatGPT that if some data is not provided to you, just take your own decisions. Then it can take it. It really depends how you prompt it. If you ask ChatGPT that you are the boss, you take any decision. If some information is not provided, take your best decision and give the answer accordingly, right? But a lot of times people don't want to do it for complex decision making. They want the agent to direct to an actual human sales representative. So that is what I've observed. But again, if you want for your company or for your clients, like you can ask ChatGPT that this is the data, but if you don't have any data, use your maximum intelligence to take a decision, whatever you feel the best. It is possible. Does it answer your question?
Yes, it does. Thank you very much.
Okay, thanks. I'll quickly go to the questions from the chat. So Kaustubh asked, how can we enhance pronunciation in Hindi or regional language? How we can get Indian number easily for integration? So for Hindi, I guess there are a lot of models available. They speak really well. I have seen that if you just choose instead of English, you choose Hindi, you can choose it or like any other regional language. And I've personally seen like they speak pretty well. And if you want, you can also train your own model using your voice, which will, which may sound more natural to your clients. So you can do it. And how can we get Indian number easily for integration? So it's not available on Twilio, but if you go to phone numbers, I think it's available for certain other platforms. So for example, you can try Telenix, or I think you can try Talendix. Maybe it's available on Talendix. I'm not sure. Like I haven't bought an Indian number till now for this. Uh, like if you find a good platform, you can tell others as well. But I'm sorry, I don't know about it. I use Twilio. I use US number. Then I think somebody has replied here. No, okay. All right. Thanks, Aditya. What happens when someone calls but doesn't close the call? As I mentioned, we can have an unsuccessful uh, like flow, as I mentioned here in the customer support, this one. So if the call is not successful, it will go here and it actually texts the person or emails the person. So we can create this flow. Then Sanchit has texted me individually. Could you also try one with Indian plus Hindi speaking voice assistant, please? Yeah, in the next session, we can try it. Yes, of course. And but meanwhile, like you can also try your own. Like they speak really well any regional language. Of course, like English is the best because the most of the data available in English. But yeah, they are very good trained in Hindi as well. Will an archive of this all be shared after the call? Yes, I will share all the important resources after this with Shantanu, and they will share it. And yes, it is also uploaded on their YouTube channel. Then if a number XXX is busy with some customer A and customer B comes on same, there's no clash. I think it can create like I think 10 or 100, like it depends on the plan. It can, have simultaneous calls as well. I think it's much more than 10, I guess. I'll just check on it. You can just easily use Perplexity. Go to Perplexity and ask like, how many simultaneous calls can we have with the pivot? Let me just ask it. So I use this Perplexity Chrome extension. It's really handy. And I use Whisperflow to just directly talk to it. So I'll just talk to it and it will type. How many simultaneous calls can a VAPI agent have at one single time? VAPI to the piece. Okay, let's see. Let's ask Perplexity. Yeah, I think it can handle up to 10 simultaneous per account by default. The limit applies to both inbound and outbound calls and is enforced at the account level. So regardless of the number of agents, phone numbers. Exceeding the limit, if you attempt to initiate more than 10, some additional calls will fail. Connect additional calls freed up. This limit is designed to ensure system stability and quality of service. The default 10 calls can be increased by going VAPI support. So yeah, if you are professional, you can increase the limit by contacting VAPI support. But even if you have 10 and simultaneously say 11% is calling, so 11% has filled the form, he might not get the immediately, but once the previous call is finished, like after 30 seconds or 1 minute, the 11th person will get the call. But yeah, if you want, like if you have a very huge traffic, you can just reach out to VAPI and get the limit increased per agent. So this is very smart presentation to showcase leverage and exposure. However, also its complexity. Are you guys open to collabs, more like one-on-one consults with space? Yeah, I mean, you can, anybody who wants to understand, anybody has doubts or anybody who wants to collab, they can reach out to me on my LinkedIn or any other contact details. That also I will share. I think Shantanu must have also already shared my LinkedIn. Yes.
I have.
So you see in the chat, you can see my LinkedIn, and you can reach out to me for any kind of doubts or anything else. I think these are the only questions. Anything else, guys?
Yeah, there's one more question which says, how is N8N greater than make?
Yes, so I actually build on both. So whenever it's a simple kind of automation that I have to make, I use make. But if I use an agent where I'm using, webhooks and HTTPs or like multiple, so here I'm using multiple workflows in a single scenario. You can't do it in make. You have to create separate workflow and then you have to alternate between the tabs. But here, all these four workflows I can have in the same scenario. So which is good. And that's why I've used N8N. Even in the one that we created today, we use two workflows. So we can have it in the same scenario. So that's why I use N8N. But you can also do that in Make, but you have to create different scenarios. And sometimes, you have to merge two scenarios. Like for example, in this particular, or say for example, in this particular module, you want to merge this and this. You can do it in N8N, but you can't do it in Make.com. So yeah, N8N is a little more flexible, but it has also a little steeper learning curve. Make is relatively easier to learn, but it is less flexible as compared to N8N. So if you're a beginner, you can create simple automations on Make. But if as you progress towards creating more complex automations, I suggest you move to N8N. In fact, I'll just show an example. Last time we built a Telegram agent, I guess. Let me see. It's pivot PA. Yeah, this we created last time in our last session. Not this. Agent, should I use this? Yes, so here we are merging this. So this thing is not available in make.com. So what's happening here is we are giving an instruction to Telegram. It can either be text instruction or voice instruction. So it checks whether it's text instruction, it goes directly here. If it's a voice instruction, it first converts it to text and then goes here. So we can merge it like this in it. And this is not possible in make.com. And this agent is available only in N8N. It is also available in make.com, but for that, for all the tools, you'll have to create different scenarios. But here, all the tools we can have it in the same canvas. So AI agent is better. If you're using AI agent, you should better use N8N. What else, guys?
As the floor is still open, if you want, you can ask. Else, we can say thanks to Ankit.
And if you have any questions later, my LinkedIn is always open. My LinkedIn DMs are open. I always respond. So you can feel free to reach out to me there. And for anything, if you have any doubts, if you want any collabs, anything, you can reach out to me there and we can take it forward. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Is there another question coming in? Isn't 11 Labs the go-to for voice agents? That's what Hari is asking.
Yeah, so 11 Labs is for creating voices. Like you can create also even in the VAPI, when we went to voice, it had option of to choose 11 Labs as the provider. And 11 Labs has very customized voices. You can also train your own voice. So that is a very good choice. But when it comes to actually calling, VAPI is the best choice. But when it comes to creating voices, creating voice options, 11 Labs is a good choice for creating a provider.
Yeah, thanks so much, Ankit. Every time we have this kind of session where there's an AI involved, it's completely mind-blowing. And each of these sessions that you've taken in the last two sessions, we've only grown a notch higher. Okay. And today we have come to a point wherein we can actually build a voice agent and some people will lose their jobs. So this is what is going to happen in the future. But yeah, I think something that everybody has to learn, and I hope the people who attended today will take something from this. All our previous masterclasses are available on the playlist. I've just attached to it, and I've also attached Ankit's LinkedIn ID and LinkedIn URL. He's always available. And yeah, Ankit, thank you so much. Really appreciate your time once again. And we will call it a day and meet again next time.
Thank you. Thanks, Shantanu. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, everyone. Bye bye. Take care.